What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Pierre, and there's no Jason again. So he is actually out of town, I believe, this weekend, and also he is purposely only watches a uh, horror films during the month of October. So he primarily will only be participating in the horror films that I watch. So I'm actually watching a new movie, and I'll be reviewing that by myself. So the movie that I'll be watching is called The Many Saints of Newark. And I say, without further ado, I say we get right into it. So I'll go ahead and kick this off. So The Many Saints of Newark is actually a prequel, if you will, to the show The Sopranos, which I was a big fan of. I watched most of the seasons. I didn't quite catch all of them. I think like maybe the last two. I didn't watch the whole thing. I did watch kind of like the final few episodes of the last season, so I kind of know what happens at the end there. So this is actually a prequel. Basically it. I thought the story was going to be primarily about mostly about Tony Soprano. He's definitely in there, but it's going to be more about his actual uncle. So he's kind of the lead role in this one, and kind of responsible for, I guess, if you will, kind of how Tony came to be, I guess, if you will. So this one actually stars, his name is like Alejandro Novola, and he plays a character called Dicky Montesani. And so that's basically kind of, he kind of looks after a young Tony Soprano, kind of schooling him on the ropes. And so this film really kind of feels like it's kind of like before, like they were like really mobsters. Obviously, Tony Soprano's character is really young when they first introduced on the scene, and his father Johnny Soprano is in the picture. He's kind of in and out of jail, and so while he's in jail, Dickie's kind of like the one that basically takes him under his wing. But Dickie's definitely not a good guy. He definitely does a lot of things. There's a lot of beef and conflict that he has on the streets. They have their Italian clan. They kind of work with a lot of other people, like there's some on the other side of town in New York, there's basically like kind of like the black, I guess, mafia, if you will. They have their own little clan, and they kind of work together, but they also have some clashes as well through the film. And there's kind of some all-star cast. It's got Vera Farmiga, it's got Ray Liotta, it's got a bunch of other recognizable names and faces, Leslie Odom Jr., and a bunch of other people in there. And it's kind of narrated by Michael Imperiolo, who plays Christopher in the Montesani and the Soprano show. So it's kind of narrated by him. So like I said, it's kind of a prequel. Well, not kind of a prequel. It is a prequel. And like I said, it's a drama, kind of like the show, but it's got splashes of like action, violence, sprinkled throughout as well. And then it kind of like it does time jump. It shows kind of like a younger Tony, and then it shows him kind of like at his teenage years as well. So it kind of flash forward. And I should add that the teenage Tony Soprano is actually played by James Gandolfini's son. So his real life son actually plays him. As we know, James Gandolfini actually passed away a few years back. So his son's kind of taking on the reins as a teenage version of Tony Soprano. His son's named Michael Gandolfini, and he's actually a pretty good actor. I'd never seen him in anything in the past. I don't know if this was his first role or not. I'm not really for sure. But he, does a really good job. And, you kind of get the sense that this film is kind of setting up maybe for more films to come in the future, because that story can keep going, because they never really, I don't go into spoilers, but there definitely could be more stories to be had based on this one film. Overall, the film was okay. Like I said, it's a drama. And I kind of thought they were going to focus more on Tony's character. I didn't realize it was going to be more primarily about, his uncle. So I just kind of thought that, everybody, when you're watching this film, we all expected to see kind of like the young Tony Soprano and kind of, him getting into trouble, him doing some things. They do show a little bit of that, but like I said, he's kind of more on the back end of the story. So, I mean, take that as you will, but I don't know. I found the pacing just to be a little bit slow. I hate to say the term boring, but I just found the pacing to be a little slower for my taste. So I just wasn't as invested or as interested in the story as I thought it was going to be. And I'm a big mobster guy. Mobster films are they're kind of my jam. I love, Casino, and Goodfellas is one of my favorite films of all time. And, The Untouchables. And I love all those types of films. But this one, I don't know, just something about it. It just didn't, it never really pulled me all the way in. Like I said, there were definitely some scenes of violence that I thought were pretty good, but they were kind of few and far between. So that was kind of some of the issues I had with the film itself. Um, but like I said, I thought it was just okay. It wasn't anything great. It is playing in theaters. I saw it on HBO Max, where nowadays if I get the option, because I've just been so busy to watch something on HBO Max or Netflix, I definitely take the opportunity to watch it there if I can, because I can't always get to the theater. But like I said, I thought it was just okay. I think if I had to give it a grade, I was leaning towards a 3, but I think I'm actually going to downgrade it to about a 2.5 out of 5. So that's just kind of like an okay film. So that's kind of like if I had to give it a face, it'd be like a slight smile, like a and that's really about it. But it's not a film that I really watch again. It's not one that I would necessarily recommend to everybody. I think the reviews are pretty decent, but I don't know. Most of the people that I've talked to, I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, it was amazing, it was great, I loved it." Um, like I said, most people I've talked to just thought it was okay, but and I kind of thought the same. But obviously, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen the Many Saints of Newark? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Am I completely off base? Let me know. As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, and we'll be back again with another show for you guys again real soon. We thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye.